Hi, this is Veroh from the Stories of Courage. Stories of Courage is all about building a community of courageous people. I believe you're courageous. I am courageous. Let's do this. You may ask me, why courage? Why discuss courage? Well, courage is the most important of all virtues because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently, in the words of Maya Angelou. In this channel, we will discuss our courageous stories, not just mine, but our courageous stories. And we will be able to empower one another and uplift one another and forge a way forward in our lives. I'm going to be sharing my journey and the process and how it has been to be an adoptive mother. And I know the questions on your mind, so allow me to just pick up the questions and answer them for you. So one of the frequent questions that I get from people is, why adoption? And my first thought about adoption, it was not the first thing that I had planned in my life to be an adoptive mother. But one of the mysteries that surround my life is the passing on of my mom, and I was taking care of her. So when my mom passed on, immediately I had an empty nest. And for most of you who know what it is to experience an empty nest, I needed something to fill that up. Not to say that a child is something to fill that up, but it was during that time of mourning and asking a lot of questions and asking for the next direction that God showed me the love that I had in my heart and the possibilities that I had even to take care of someone else in my life. And because I was just all alone, I thought this was the best time to give back and give love to someone who may deserve this love. And so a girlfriend and I were just seated and were just chatting, and we were looking for what is the way forward. And this is when she introduced me to a children's home and an adoption agency. And I paid them a visit, picked up the forms, and started the whole journey. And one of the things I must highlight at this point is the kind of support I received from my friends, from the officials in the children's department. And it's been one of the most amazing and miraculous things that I have had to walk through. So I filled the forms, and I remember on this day I just come from a holiday and I get a phone call and I'm told, can you come and have a look at the pictures of a child whom we think matches you? And I was, oh my goodness, the time is here. Now prior to that, it's like I had a whole planning. I had a whole planning of this adoption thing. I was like any other mother who's looking for her to bring forth a baby home. Many people don't think that adoption mothers actually have their 9-month pregnancy, but we do. We have moments of anxiety. We have cravings just like any other mother. So part of what I had enjoyed as this process was the shoppings. Everything was just turning purple in my house. I had this room that I had put cartoon pictures up. I had everything just ready for a baby. I would enjoy shopping for baby clothes and everything. And then there was the anxiety. These things don't happen overnight. So I filled the forms, I've done everything that I ought to have done. But then the baby is not coming. They are working hard on matching me with a baby who will look as close enough like me. And in this process of waiting, it was frustrating. I was anxious. So one of the mad moments that I had was going and removing the things in the room, pulling down the decor, removing the clothes and putting them aside and saying, okay, let me shelf these, because it looked too good to be true. I didn't know, maybe, what if it doesn't happen? So I began putting things away just to calm myself and calm my nerves. And as time went by, that moment that I was just telling you about happened. I got a call. And when I got a call, I went and I saw the picture. And I remember one of the things that I was told is, what do you think about this picture? And I was, what do you mean what I think? I was ready to be a mother. I have been waiting for this for 9 months. It was time. When can I see the baby? Can I see the baby now? And they said, no, the baby is in Nakuru. So you'll have to like wait one more night and see the baby tomorrow. And that was the longest night in my life. One more night to meet the baby. And so I remember thinking to myself, one of the things that happens to me when I'm nervous, I hate driving. I only drive when I'm so calm and collected and planned. I plan my trips ahead of time. So I call a girlfriend, I tell her, guess what? It's happening. It's tomorrow. It's Nakuru. We are going. And just like this girl could read my heart, the first thing she told me, it is okay, I will drive you. And what a joy it was to have someone accompany me all the way to Nakuru. Evelyn, I love you forever for that. Upon reaching the children's home where my daughter was, I remember they received us so well, and they went and they picked these beautiful, beautiful bundle of joy. She was 1 year, 3 months. When she walked in the room, it was a match made in heaven. She just came on my laps and she was relaxed and she was at home. And I remember the director looking at the two of us and saying, oh, this is Mama. And the child was being told, this is Mama. And it did not take more than a month before that child was busy saying, Mama. And those were the most beautiful words I've ever had to listen to. So during the journey to Nakuru, I was also quiet. I'm a chatterbox, you can tell that by now, but I was quiet. And now here I was, the moment of reality. Holding a baby, it meant that this baby, me and this baby were bonded for life. I did not know what next, but I knew that I had some work to do. I knew we had a lot of adjustment to do. And one of the things is that when we went home, one of the major sacrifices that had to happen in my life is I had to share my remote. I mean, being single and living alone, my remote was like my personal property. And here I was, now I have to share my remote. There's someone who wants to touch this, the other. My nice space became a place where now we were the two of us. And as she has grown, it's no longer me, it's we. And anytime I would mention something like me, should be, ma'am, it is we. It is our thing. Another question I would want to address that I know is on your mind is that does love come naturally? Is it easy to just love someone you've just met and feel like they're your blood? Every other woman has bonded with their child in their womb. And here I am telling you that you can bond with a child in your heart. And so I did not know, it's been long. With the last child we had in our family was ages. So we've not had like young kids hanging around us. And here is a small girl and I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, God, how will this happen? But some of the things that began to speak back to me was how much I cared, how much I protected this child, how much I would come and ask the house girl the details. How has the baby been? Is the stomach still aching? How did she behave today? How much did she eat? How much fun did she have while playing outside? Is she talking to people? Is she afraid? And that taught me something, that can just be wound up in one word. It's love. So basically, being an adoptive mom has been a journey of loving someone else, of pouring my life into a small girl. It's been 8 years. She's now a blossoming 9-year-old, and she's the best gift that God could have given me. Now I look at so many of you, single ladies, married couples without children, or even married couples with children and you want an additional child. Don't wait any longer. Call up, talk to these people, talk to the children officers, bring a child home. Another question that I keep getting from people is, do you have any regrets? Well, I do have some regrets, and the first regret I have is, why didn't I do this earlier? I would be a mother to a teenager right now. The other regret I have is, I should have taken 2 or 3 children. But you know what? There's time for me, and there's time for you. So it does not matter where you are at, we can get started on this journey. Don't put it off any longer. You know, the first adoptive parent we have is God. He initiated the process when He adopted us into His family to become His children. And I think the best way to reciprocate to God's love is by giving love to others. I pray and believe that you've enjoyed listening to my story of courage, and I encourage you to come on board and bring your friends on board to love and to share and to encourage one another. Kindly find me on my Facebook page, Veroh Ndutah, or Stories of Courage. Like, share, comment, and welcome on board. God bless you. Lots of love.